It's Triple Crown here, February 28th, 2025. The first Shipshewana Card Fest of the year is here. It is now in a much larger venue, the Shipshewana Event Center, not too far away from the old barn where it used to be held at. This place is about to be pretty packed on Saturday. As you can see here, people still filing in, getting their stuff set up. I'm about to do the same. Let's go ahead and get into it, hoping for a big weekend here.
What's that numbered out of?
25.
Yeah. What's that numbered out of?
Okay, you're good.
I think the watt's out of 10, let me see. Yeah, 1 of 10.
That's in the watt and one bottle last night, please.
Yeah.
I've dealt with you a few times. You actually bought from me at Newark.
Joe Thomas Exquisite RPA.
Yeah. Sweet card.
One that you don't forget too often.
You probably ain't seen one in the wild since, you know what I mean?
I have not, yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah. That's number 25 also.
Yeah. You want to see that one too?
Yeah. That's what I was expecting. Right here. Oh, there's
I do 120 for all three of them.
Would you say 120?
Yeah.
What about over here?
Get to 110.
Let me see.
Yeah, pull those.
This one's on consignment, so I gotta have 15 for it. I don't really want to be at like 105 on these two.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you say then?
Maybe 120. Yeah. Yeah, the consignment ones I can't move on, but
What's that number now? 25?
yeah,
What's your best on it?
40.
About 35. Make up for that. I'll give you the 120 there. And
Yeah, that's fine.
40 at 135.
I ran into several people that I've done deals with before, as you could kind of hear there. This gentleman sold me a Joe Thomas Exquisite RPA at a show that I did last year. That vlog's up on my channel if you want to go check it out. But he bought some stuff here. We kind of have similar tastes, so the things he picked out didn't surprise me too much. Some nice low-numbered Vados. That Ichiro Orange Refractor I got last weekend, and I'm in a good position on that, so I didn't mind caving an extra $5. He had treated me well before. I tried to reciprocate it a little bit there.
I'll thank you.
All right, it'll be there for you. Thanks, man.
Sweet
Can you
card.
pull some stuff for us?
Yeah, for sure. What do you want to see?
We do this. Shohei over here.
Okay.
The roof.
Go to the Manning, Breeze, Calvin. A little more Rocket.
It's too dirty.
85 plus 40. 225, I think. So you have to stick at 225?
So that's 85 at 230.
Like 195?
I'd be firm at 210. 210.
You split 205.
I'd be firm at 210, but thank you.
So we took the roof off 150. 210 minus 60.
Yeah, that's
150.
fine.
Let's do that.
Cool. This happened quite a bit throughout the weekend, but I felt like I got squeezed $5 here and there quite a bit, both when I was trying to buy cards that walked up to the table and when I was trying to sell, as I'm sure you'll see as this vlog and then probably the next one progresses here. In this case, we ended up taking out a deal and still making this one happen, but really, I think that my prices are really fair to begin with. I was told by a couple of people that, hey, you have some of the better prices in the room, which is always a very nice compliment. But at the same time, then when you kind of get beat down, you're kind of like thinking, well, you told me my prices were really good, so does that mean I really need to cave all that much more? Like, I'm already feeling like I'm giving you a pretty good deal, but I got to give you an even better one. I don't know, just very interesting to me to get that feedback, but then the offers didn't necessarily reflect that feedback. But I'm happy that we still made a deal work here.
150?
Thank you, sir.
His name was like back in
You guys have a good rest of your show. Thank you.
What's your best on it?
I don't want to negotiate against myself, but you can give me an offer if you don't like the price. Usually, it's a red flag that an interaction probably isn't going to go so well when someone leads with, what's your best on this, rather than, hi, how are you, how's your show going, or anything of the like. It happened to me a lot of times, actually, where someone would just walk up, put something on my table, and say, how much would you give me for this? And by a lot, I mean several. Was it every 20 minutes? No, it wasn't. But more times than you would expect, which really, I wouldn't expect that to happen at all. But in this case, in terms of selling, I have someone who comes up to my table. This is not the first time I've interacted with him. He probably doesn't know he's interacted with me before, but I remember him, and it wasn't a pleasant experience because this is someone who has manipulated comps to me before. This is someone who has lied to me about what something had last sold for before, and this interaction is going to be more of the same.
Well, I see the last PSA did 53.
What about the one before that?
80?
Yeah. They're more consistent on that than 53, but
yeah, sale's a sale though.
A sale is a sale. Well, that line is as good as gold, right? It would be maybe a little bit more impactful if what he was saying was actually true, but he blatantly lied to my face. Here is the recent sales on this card. You can see that the exact same card, exact same seller, sold 2 weeks later for about $25 more than what he had said. But he picked the comp that best fit his narrative because that's what a lot of these guys do. They will go out and pick the sale that best fits their narrative, hope that I'm not going to double check it or hope that I don't know any better. But I do check them before I price them out. I don't just put the stickers on there to make them look pretty. I do take my time and make sure things are priced fairly, and fairly doesn't always mean 80% of the lowest sale that I can find. Fairly means that it's going to be in a range of sales. It's usually not the highest sale I can find, and it's also usually not the lowest sale I can find. It's a realistic number for the card, and it's just going to vary on what the card is and what the price may be. But when you come up to me and you blatantly lie to me like this, and then you say a sale is a sale, and this little song and dance, and then you just walk off when you don't get your way without even saying thank you or anything, it's just going to make me not want to do business with you. And if you treat other sellers like this, it's another way to kind of put yourself behind a little bit. No, I'm kind of going off a little bit more than I normally do, but something I feel needs to be said. This is a type of interaction that usually just leads nowhere, and I don't know why negotiations have to go this way. Well, so is the 81. I'm not really in a rush for you on St. Brown, but thank you. He walks off without saying anything else, and I ended up selling that card the next day for $80, which that sale is a sale. You're back. You're on.
I need everyone to know I have friends. Leave me on video.
I'll vouch for you. That's
$10.
Only for you.
I know. Yeah. Only for you.
Don't tell anybody else.
All right, thanks, sir.
You bet. I'll see you around.
Yep.
Shout out to Paul, Vintage Sports Shack. He bought the Barry Sanders Blue Men of Mastery off me. Definitely an interaction that lifted my spirits a little bit after dealing with some of the things I dealt with at the start of the show.
Any wiggle on the Gwyn?
I'll listen to an offer.
130?
Close. I do 140.
How about 270 for that and the Gwyn? 130 and 140.
I need 280. Pretty firm right on it. Alright, cool. Thanks.
280?
Great.
Sorry about that. 20 a little loose.
You're good.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I like the price tags you guys use. It looks good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll do what I can to stand out.
Yeah.
For a good reason.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You buying anything today?
Yeah, I'll take a look at that.
It's got like a mix of like mid-range type stuff.
Yeah,
some
sure.
great graded stuff in here. Got a bigger box here too.
Are these kind of what you want for them here on the sticker?
I'm always willing to go down because that's like kind of what they comp at, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if I set up at a show or whatever, that's just what I put on the sticker.
I hear you.
Get into the market part of it, but you know.
Yeah, okay.
Got that off a guy from Facebook Marketplace. He had 4 of them.
No kidding.
Yeah. 4 out of the number to 79 ones.
If I grabbed like the whole row of it, where would you think you'd want to be at?
All of it?
Yeah, on the $10 section.
Yeah, you can look through and see like kind of what's in there. I mean, there's $20 cards in there, then there's probably $8 cards in there. You know what I mean? So it's,
yeah.
You know.
Do you have a number in mind for like the whole row? If someone offered you for all of it?
How many cards do you think are in there, in that row?
So this is
stuff like that.
25 here.
25. Okay.
So if I do... If you have ever seen a game where someone wants you to guess how many jelly beans are in a big jar and you're going to try to figure it out without being able to count them yourself, that is really the same strategy that I'm using here to approximate how many cards are in this box. Could I count them out all individually? Sure, but I don't want to use all that time, not only for myself, but for the person who's coming up looking to sell as well. What I do is I take a stack of 25 cards, and then I will kind of stack them along and count how many stacks of 25 I think are in the row. And that allows me to better approximate without having to spend the time to go through and count each card individually. And the reason I do that is because when I'm looking to do a purchase like this, I want to do it on a per card basis. So how much am I paying per each card? Once I have that number, I can kind of figure out more so where I want to be at it, especially if he doesn't give me a number here as he hasn't to this point. 50, like 160, 175, I guess.
Just throw me a number out there. I'm not too attached to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, if there's 160 cards, I'm not going to want 1,600, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not even going to want $1,000 on it. I'd be taking a hit on it, but I could go like $500 on them.
All right, that's what I was hoping to hear. $500 I think is a very workable price point for this row. I do like the cards in there, but I don't necessarily love it. And I don't know if this is necessarily the best lot for someone like me. By someone like me, who am I? I'm an eBay seller and I do card shows as well. I feel like a lot of this stuff would do particularly well on a Whatnot stream, but I am not a Whatnot seller. However, I do know someone who is, and that is Logan over at Great Sports Cards. I walked this guy over to his table. I get Logan's attention for a couple minutes, told him what the situation was. Here's what he's asking. Here are the types of cards in there. I also pulled out some of the better cards from his specific sport rows as well that I think would do well on a Whatnot stream if I was a seller. They make a deal. Logan is able to get a nice lot, and because I was able to make that sale for my customer here, I was able to buy this lot. A win all around.
Okay.
Actually, we're just gonna be over here. Dude, Brady put all of his cards in the
Oh yeah, some guy said yeah.
JT, if you need me, just call me.
Thanks you. Hey, thanks for watching. Do you know what you want on these, or you just want me to look them up and figure it out with you?
So I have like no service, so I haven't been able to check comps. I'd be at 40 on this though.
Okay.
I don't know on these three. I'd probably be like 20 on this though.
All right, let's take a look, man. See what we got. When younger collectors come up to the table, I always make sure that I go through all of their cards, even if it seems like it's going to be a stack that isn't going to have anything of interest to me. I at least want to show interest in their cards. I can admire just starting out and trying to sell a couple of cards and maybe pick up something else. I think we've all been there. Everybody started at some point, and when you're young, you don't want to have experiences that are going to make you want to not come back to these shows, and that's my goal. I never want to be the reason that a younger collector doesn't want to come back to these shows. I also ask when people come up to sell, do you know what you want on these, or do you want me to just look it up? I'm going to look it up regardless, but I at least like to have a baseline idea of where they're at, because if it's something that's incredibly high or incredibly low, that way I can make a decision right away without having to really look anything up. But here, I'm going to take my time, look these up, and see if we can work something out. Okay. I would do 15 on this one. If you can't do it, no worries. If you guys need help with something, let me know.
Does PayPal or Venmo work off the top?
I have Venmo, yeah. Okay. If you want, just go ahead and pull them out and we'll talk.
Sweet.
I'll pass on the JMO. You know what you want on your Henry?
No, I have no clue. I haven't been able to check comps on it.
All right. Not a problem. And then probably 10 on Michael Thomas. So it'd be 50 for all three of them.
Could you do 55 on it?
I'd be firm at 50. So if you want to hold on, no worries.
I'll do it.
Cool. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the show, man.
Yeah, you too.
200.
Yeah, that works.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I'm just going to grab a quick picture.
Yes, sir.
You're all set, man. Thank you so much.
Yep. What's the...
Can we pull some out, man?
Yeah, you guys go ahead and help yourself. I'm just doing some paperwork real quick.
Just open them?
Yeah. No, actually, it's on my end, so I probably should help you.
Could you do on those ones?
I'm a little more relaxed to throw out an offer to a buyer when they're making a stack like this. I mean, they took the time to go ahead and build the stack. They just kind of want to see if I would give them a small discount. Usually on the stack, the offers that I get aren't typically too outrageous. What I do here is I just kind of go through and I figure out, all right, what's my best price on all of these, and I'll throw the number out there. That's it. There's not going to be a lower number. There's no secret number. If you tell me the secret passcode, no, that's going to be the lowest number. That's kind of what I've gotten into the habit of doing. Makes things a little bit more streamlined. Truly, my best price is my best price. There is no secret beyond that.
140.
What's your sticker?
So these ones with the white stickers are all on consignment, so that's what he wants for them, so I can't move off of those.
50.
So it's not, I mean,
60,
it's pretty
70,
much where it's,
120,
yeah.
It's $5 off. That's cool, man. That'll work.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna grab a quick picture,
Yeah.
so I know it's sold. Been a good show for you guys so far?
Only made it up and down this first aisle, but
okay.
I came here with no cash today. Everything's in cards, so
what happens?
Trying to get some cash out. Only sale on the Garrett is 405. That was just a PSA 10, so the 10 I just put a 420. No, that's not the one I seen. The one I was looking at was just straight up PSA 10.
Yeah, there it is, right there too. Yeah.
Was it 405?
Yep.
That was the one I seen. I didn't see that one.
I don't imagine you want to move it below that then, right?
What's that?
You wouldn't want to move it below the 400 then?
I mean, if there's direct comp on that, like that's I didn't see that sale, so that's why I put that one at 420. Just the other one 405. But I'm open to offers on anything, man.
Yeah, I would do 340 on it.
What are you valuing it at?
Right at 400.
At 400.
Yeah, it's cool. Because seeing that the other one had done 405, it gives me a little bit more confidence. Because like if it only did 400 one time, then I kind of be like, but.
I mean, it's out of 13. It's not like there's going to be a bunch of sales on it, so.
Well, that's the thing too. When it's low numbered like this, it could actually be much higher and it could be lower. I've been in both boats before, and
it can always be a little bit tricky with these higher dollar cards that don't sell all that often, because if we're just going off of one sale, that one sale isn't necessarily reflective of the entire market. Good example of this: he had a Bobby Witt Jr. X-Fractor autograph there at 700. It last sold at 700, but the sale before that was 420-ish or 480-ish. Whatever the case was, it was a couple $100 below that 700 number. I kind of thought in my head, I probably think that maybe 500 or 600 is a little bit more realistic on it, which is why I passed on that card. But my gut tells me on this Garrett Wilson that 400, it's likely to fetch that again if I were to try to sell it. That's always what I'm trying to think of in my head. Is it realistic that I'm going to get that number again? Or maybe I'll even get a higher number than what it last sold for. It is a card-by-card basis, but he's an Ohio State guy, so I might have a little bit of bias on this particular card.
For 4 seems about right.
What about any of the other stuff?
Did you see one at 4 for this? The only one I could find was at, like, for non-numbered ones was 350.
Yeah. My Trout autos, I just kind of bumped them up a little bit. Season coming up, but
understandable.
I mean, obviously, I've got a little bit of room. Like if you want to make an offer on it,
I would do 640 on the pair.
For these two?
Yeah.
You were at 320 and then 340.
Yeah.
And
3 or 320 each, however you want to divide it up. Same difference to me.
Unfortunately, I accidentally power my camera down here, but we do agree at 640 for those two cards, the Mike Trout auto and the Garrett Wilson. Unfortunate timing on the equipment malfunction, but it happens.
Is this all YouTube?
Yeah, all 5 of these.
He's like, wait.
You wanted the Triple H?
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
325, I believe, so far.
You have room?
I'll listen to an offer.
Yeah. There's a PSA 8 comp at 80. I'd pay that comp.
I wouldn't do that. I'd do 100.
You do 100?
Yeah.
I'd split it with you. If not, no worries.
I think I paid 90 for it, so I'm going to try to stick it on.
I hear you. I'm going to walk around then.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll change your mind.
I doubt it's going anywhere, but...
Yeah. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Thank you.
I'm working 2 separate deals here, one for a stack on my right, and then also kind of working on this Triple H Gold at the same time. I try to break the habit of telling people exactly what I pay for something, just because it can come off as, oh, well, I paid this for it, I need to make sure that I make money on it. But That's not the buyer's problem. The reason that I'm saying it is just to tell them, like, hey, look, I'm trying to get 100 on it, paid 90 for it. I feel that's pretty reasonable. I'm not trying to mark this up to some huge, crazy margin here. It'd be a $10 profit if I sell this card, and I think 100 is a pretty fair price on a true gold out of 10. But he passed on this one. That's all right.
Room on the berry.
I'll listen to an offer.
220.
Yep.
That's probably the fastest deal I've ever worked out for a $220 card, while I'm also working on another deal. Definitely a very welcomed sale here in the middle of this little frenzy I have going on, because while I'm doing this deal, the Triple H guy comes back and he says, I'll take it at 100. I end up selling the gold Triple H, and then I sold that stack, including the Garrett Wilson and Mike Trout that I had bought moments ago. I told him exactly what I paid. It was the guy who I've been working with this whole time. He offered me, a little bit more, which was $20 more than I paid, and I said, sure. For $20 more, I will gladly move a card or two cards that I bought 10 minutes ago, when really what's the best case scenario on them? I'll probably make maybe 30 to 40 on each card. I'd rather just take the 20 now for really not having to do any work for it. And after all, you know what they say.
Sale's a sale, though.
So that'll wrap it up for me on day one of Shipshewana. I had some cool stuff walk up to the table a little bit later on towards the end of the show. I kind of stopped recording at that point, figured I had enough content to put together the Friday vlog, and sure enough I did. I have some bonus clips. Maybe I'll make like a little bonus episode after I get the day 2 vlog out. We'll see. If you're interested in just some raw show footage, let me know in the comments. It's something that I thought about doing before, but I'm not sure if people would find it entertaining or not. Maybe it's just something to have on in the background. But until next time, when I have part 2 of the Shipshewana vlog, take care, stay safe, be kind.